What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Butta B-Rocka, and you are listening to the Transparency Podcast. Thank you guys for joining in with me today. I have a very, very special guest, but before we get to him, guys, make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Social distancing is the key right now. Hurry up and do that so that we can get back together. So I need y'all to spread apart so that we can get back together. You know what I mean? In the meantime, make sure that you are elevating your mind. You can do so by checking out my book, Fear of Failure, Fear of Not Trying. It is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and all of that. I am an Amazon bestseller. Became one in 7 hours of my book release. So make sure you guys check it out. But anyway, without further ado, I would like to go for my good friend, Mr. Ken Ford. Hey, Ken.
Hey, everybody, what's up? Y'all good at the house? I'm good. Y'all know I'm good. Hey, congratulations on the dang on book.
Thank you.
You just threw that, and by the way, bestseller on Amazon after, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I need to read that. So, it's all right. Hey, what's up, Butter?
So silly. It did become a bestseller. I became a best-selling author in 7 hours of my pre-release.
Wow, congratulations. Man, you would have never did that if it wasn't for COVID. Man.
Okay. Silly.
It makes us all bugger down. Wait, we gotta get tired done. Woo, make you do some work. That's good.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I know I'm working.
All right.
Yes.
So I would like to formally introduce the King of Strings, Mr. Ken Ford. Again, I am truly honored that you are taking some time out of your day to speak with little old May. So can you
got my time out today. I ain't got nothing but time.
I know, right?
That's all I got.
But time.
Okay, this is the best time to get in every interview.
No, let me tell you what was so funny. When I called you telling you that I was starting my podcast, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna send you over my calendar so you can pick the time." You was like, "I got plenty of time. Everybody got time." I was like, "You know what? So true." I was like,
"That's so true." I mean, we all got plenty of time.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, while we talking about time, what are you doing to kill the time right now?
Ooh, I do so much. You know, I wake up and you know what I do? I come to my studio and I practice. This is my chance to really, really, really practice. I get that in. I write a lot of music. Man, I work on my next show online, what I'm going to do. I play with my grown kids. Now, I can't even say kids. But I play a game of chess with my son, and just all kinds of stuff. You those things that you didn't get a chance to do because you're always working and busy. So I'm catching up on my family thing, and it feels real good. I'm having a good time. You know, I don't think about all the negative stuff. I look at all the positives coming out of this. I cannot wait till the other side. It's going to look so good. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
That's me.
Me too. So you are the King of Strings. You play the violin. Can you tell everybody a little bit about your background?
My background. Ooh, my background. Okay, cool. My background is, I'm a regular guy. I'm an only child. My parents wanted me to go to school and all that kind of stuff. I remember they wanted me, I had an opportunity because at the time, I think I was working at Walmart and Payless Shoes at the same time and going to school. I was like doing all of that. I was that dude. I wasn't playing, and I still played the violin on the side just for fun. It wasn't even about making money. It was just something I loved. But I was working at, I remember I was working at UPS, and they offered me a position. They was like, "Ken, would you like to drive for us?" Because I was already just a loader of those 18-wheeler trucks. Mm-hmm. And they wanted me to drive. So I was like, yes! Oh, man, I was excited. I was like, drive. You know how much money that is? And my parents like, do it. They were like, stay in school. No. And I was like, but it's like $100 an hour. Right. Whatever it was. And they were like, no, just this. I'm so glad. Let me tell you, you don't understand. I'm so glad I listened to my parents, because maybe it wasn't even a year or two later, I'm sitting in the office making almost damn double what I would have been making at UPS, sitting there chilling.
That's good.
And I was like, you see what I'm saying? I was like, okay, thank you on that one. So I have an IT background, and yeah, I'm out of date, but I can always update myself if I had to, and I can't get back in that work industry job if I had to, but that ain't happening. That ain't even the plan. That's not even a thought, really. But as far as with my time, what I've been doing, I just been doing fun stuff and just fun stuff. Just stuff I didn't get a chance to do and stuff I do anyway. And what's funny about this whole thing is I was kind of used to this anyway, because, I'm not the normal person that wake up, go to a job and do all that and all that kind of stuff. I kind of wake up when, my body say, hey, Ken, you finished?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finished. You finished sleeping? Okay, yeah, well, wake up. Okay, that's where I am. I don't wake up to no alarm clock, nothing like. It's like when your body, just wake up when your body say you is finished.
Yeah, I believe
your body say it's tired.
Yeah.
I don't care what time it is, whether it's 9 p.m. or whether it's 4 a.m. Go to sleep when your body say it's ready.
Absolutely.
Listen to your body on everything. If it says it's okay to eat the hamburger, eat the hamburger. If it says it's not okay, don't. So you gotta listen to yourself. This is a good time, buddy, to get to know yourself. All this time out, that's what it's all about, getting to know yourself. Okay, I'll stop talking. Your turn. And don't worry, this ain't nothing but hookah and a little pipe. This ain't weed.
What's wrong with you? All right, so
I'm ready, buddy. Come on.
You are known as the King of Strings. I absolutely love that name. So first, can you tell people how you got started playing violin, and then we'll get into that name.
Okay, cool. All right. So how did I get started playing the violin? That started way in the 4th grade. And what had happened, the teacher had passed out pictures of instruments to all her students. And see, back in the day, you had to play an instrument. See, nowadays it's not even in school. That's crazy. Right. But you had to pick something. And so the first thing I chose was the upright bass, because that was so cool, and all the other boys was picking trumpets and saxes and drums. And I wanted something big but really cool looking and different, and that was the upright bass. But I changed my mind at the last minute because I was this little guy. I knew my parents only had a Volkswagen at the time. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to get the smaller version of this looking thing, and that ended up being the violin. That's how the violin actually got into my hand. And then when I brought it home, my mom was so excited because she always liked strings and the songs. That was one of the things. And so I saw how that excited her, and I was like, oh, let me see what I can do with this, And so it was one of those things I continued to play and fell in love with. And my dad was a DJ. So it was always records laying around the house. Look, and they do the same records. Matter of fact, I think the same record that I was just, you know what, I ain't gonna unplug this power because you ain't gonna take that chance. But what had happened, I think that's the same album, one of the ones, I was like, who is this dude on this album with an afro and no shirt on holding a violin? And I was like, can you do that with a violin? And I was like, wow, I listened to that and it changed my life. And there it is. It was like Noah Pointer, and he's a violinist from out of New York, and he was doing something different with the violin besides classical music and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's the first time I realized you can do something different. Actually, the first time I realized in high school when Mr. David Robinson came along and start arranging Michael Jackson songs and Stevie Wonder. I was like, wow, you can play that on the violin in the orchestra? And he was like, yes. And I was like, wow. So I started getting excited about that. And so basically I realized I have an instrument. I can play something that I enjoy listening to on the radio. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where the transition started. I started playing by ear. Even though I know I can read, I still can read music, and I read music all the time, especially when you practicing and doing stuff, and especially for those big calls. If Bruno Mars call you, you need to be able to read music because you got to be able to direct three other or a whole another string players and all that kind of stuff, and they not gonna tell you to go this way. They gonna hand you the sheet music, so you gotta either learn how to read charts and the music and all that kind of stuff. But so I started playing by ear early on, and then I started becoming cool for it because at first you get teased for playing the violin. You know, I'm a little guy coming up, and you ask for the background history, didn't you? So that's a big question. So you ask for the whole thing. Now, if you have something else you want to ask, you interrupt me and say, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna just give you the story. So what had happened? So coming home from school all the time on the bus, I used to tell kids because I always told my parents I want a square case for my violin. So that was for the kids to know I had a violin. That was the whole reason. And so they'd be like, Ken, what is that? I'd be like, a trombone. And I'd walk off. Ken, what's that? You playing the trumpet? Yeah. What's that? And then you play trumpet. That's fine. And then it's like, so I used to lie. I used to not even tell them. They did. To this day, when they see me like, damn, I didn't even know you played the violin. I know. I wasn't going to tell. Right. I hear that. I played football. I did the whole thing. Till I got hit so hard one time. I was out of breath. And I just got up. I had my whole uniform on. I got up, got my backpack and my violin case and walked off. And it was at that point I said, you know what? I'm a violin. I said, no more pretending. That's it. This is what I do. I play the goddamn violin. I ain't trying to get the wind knocked out of my hands. I was like, I ain't gonna do this. I can do the same thing on the violin and make the same amount of money. How about that? And I walked off and I called my daddy. Said, Daddy, I got cut. He was like, what you cut? You bleeding? You? I'm like, not that kind of cut. Daddy, I mean from the football team. My daddy old school. What you mean you got cut? So anyway, so that was the end of that football career. I don't know how we got on that. But you said you want background and how all this King of Stream came about. And so once again, I walked off with my violin. And then so actually before that, I tried baseball. Oh my God, that wasn't no better. I was I was in the outfield. I was right fielder, and then that ball got popped up to me for that first time, and the sun and the ball and the sun just said nope. That ball hit my lip. I was like, and that's the end of baseball. I walked off with my violin. So it's like, okay, so. Not knowing, I'm just gathering my shit up. I'm just getting my backpack, my violin, just gathering my stuff up. And it had to hit me. You know what? I think I need to be playing the violin. But you have to go through these things, And okay, now so here I am. I got through elementary and high school. So here I am now. I'm this violinist and I'm a senior in high school. I'm graduating, but I still wasn't cared for it. Not nowhere close. I was just somebody who played the violin pretty okay. I was in the orchestra. People knew who I was, but it wasn't no big deal. It's like, yeah, he I still got my respect there and everything like that. So I went on to college, and the one place I wanted to go was Georgia State. I did end up going to Georgia State, but I didn't complete it there. And at the time at Georgia State, all they had was for majoring was in music, was because that's what I was going to do. I was going to major in music, so was teaching, and I did not want to teach because they ain't making enough money. And the other thing was performance, but not the kind of performance I do now. It was performance like in the orchestra, like in the symphony, getting you kind of ready for that kind of thing. And I didn't want to do that either because that's like a job, 8 hours a day rehearsing, and you make about 30,000-40,000 a year. Like, no, still don't want to do that either. And then you kind of in this box. And nothing against those cats, because I love going to the orchestra and hearing the symphony and all that kind of stuff. And I would do a feature with the symphony. But as far as being in the symphony, no, that's too, you got me. No, that's like a job.
Right.
So yeah, and that's the one thing I wanted to try to have. So what had happened, I did extracurricular stuff while I was at Georgia State. I was in the Georgia State Orchestra. And then this is when I started getting exposure to the extracurricular things like the African American Philharmonic Orchestra was going on. I was at Cab College Orchestra, little community orchestras here and there. They didn't really make no money, but it was like you was happy you got $10, like wow, for playing your instrument in the orchestra, whatever. So I started doing little things like that, and then that led. While I was in the African American Philharmonic Orchestra, that led to other opportunities that showed me, wait a minute, wow, this thing really, because we got a call from Barry White, and he chose me and a few others to be in his Love Unlimited Orchestra. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, like, wow, this violin thing, wait a minute, it's getting serious. So it's almost like you let the horse build the cart. I didn't have business cards. I didn't have no CD. I didn't have nothing. I was just out there having fun and doing it, and things were happening for me where I had to force myself, well, shoot, I better get some business cards and start building this cart. And that's what happened. And I used my corporate skills from my schooling, my IT degree, and I ended up going to DeVry. I left Georgia State because I didn't want to do neither one of them two. And I went and got a degree in computer information, and so now here I am working this job, but I'm still playing the violin. Had a great job, and I went through the department stores, I went through the corporations, Crawford and Company, IRS, UPS. I did all the stuff. I worked at Walmart, Burger King, Payless Shoes. What else I did? Record store. That was my first job at the record store. And then I went to Po Folks after that, and that was my daddy's record store. So I've always been around people. I've always been in customer service. I know how to treat people. I know how people should be treated. Blah 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 blah. And then I got the corporate thing, and then I started contracting and programming, and then I started working from home. Why did they want to do that? When I started working from home, that's pretty much it. I think that was the last time I even went to another job after I started working from home, because I got a little taste of how that feels.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my drawers and I can just work and do whatever, and I can go play my violin. Oh, that was it. And all I got to do is be available for a conference call.
Right.
And I used to hate them conference calls. But now I got to get up and get on the phone and all that. And this one time, this was another, I'm getting to points here. I know it sounds like I'm all over the place, but I know where I am. So what had happened, so I'm doing a conference call one time, I'm on it, whatever. My other phone ring, and it's a gig, right? So I thought I put the conference call on mute, so I'm over here negotiating. No, I can't do it for $100. I can do it for $200. That's probably what my price was back then. Who knows? But I'm over here negotiating, and everybody on the conference call covered like, Ken, you didn't do that, Ken. At that point, I was like, you know what? At this point, I knew, this bit is I need to be doing my violin. That was one of the breaking moments. And then that was leading on to, you know what, your contract is out, I'm out, see you, peace, we good. But then when I got home that day after I was unemployed, and I had to tell the wifey, this was, up until now, it was all about me. It wasn't about family, it's about me. Just about me. I wouldn't think about kids and then, even though I got some, I don't care. But it was about me. So then it got to a point, like, wait a minute, what am I doing? So I'm unemployed, I'm going home. My wife was like, what? No, it wasn't like that. She said, I said, well, I got let go. Like, and she was like, nah, she ain't working now. And we already got kids. We already started the forum. It's on the way. I got 4 now, but it was about 2 then. So she was like, she's like, why aren't you playing your violin for? I was like, huh? She's like, if you put the effort you put in all that program, I see you answering them programs and fits and all, why don't you put it into yourself and play your violin? and it was at that moment, Butter, that I hadn't turned back. That's when I said, if she can have more confidence in me to do what I love, I'm gonna do it. And I committed to it. And I said, I'm gonna be the best violinist I can be, the king of strings. And here I am. And that's what happened. It was her.
That's an awesome story.
Thank you. And there it is. And that's where I am right now. And that was about 20 years ago. And I'm still keeping on. Somebody else believing you, then you start believing yourself, and you realize that is what I am. Why do I keep going back to think? See, we think we're not secure. We need a job or something. You don't need a job. You need to believe in what it is you believe in and commit to it, and that's what happened. And because what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
What's for you is for you. It ain't no competition, ain't no nothing. It ain't, if your phone ain't ringing for a gig, that's mean it's because it's not supposed to ring for a gig right now. You need to be doing something. Go practice. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
You have to be obedient. Woo, and there it is.
Yeah, we actually
got the story.
We I have a background in computer information systems. I went to college for that first because my mom was, you gotta have a backup plan, and I'm like,
yeah, that's what my mama said. The same era.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Yeah.
And it always, most of it was computer information.
Yeah, I chose computer information because I'm like, oh well, at least, you'll always have a job or can get a job.
We always, that was the case, but we didn't realize that something gonna be changing so fast.
That's what I was
to stay up.
Right. By the time I graduated, all of the programs was different. I was like, oh yeah, and I don't want to do this, and the only thing I want to do is sing. So I was like, I'm out. So
because by the time you graduate, it's a whole nother language.
It's a whole
You're
nother
like, well, damn.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta stay A certified, all that other bull crap to keep the good job. I remember all them days.
Yeah.
I used to have them thick books that you gotta learn something every other week. God, dog.
And then the code's not working because you got a comma in place of a period, and you can't figure out why the code ain't working.
Ooh, you was in that era too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
A dash, not. Oh man.
Yeah. It used to drive me.
You been a commented a line out, didn't realize it. Oh my God. Just all kinds of stuff that can go wrong. I did COBOL. I did mainframe. I did
Oracle.
I did Oracle. I did all of that. Man, we have so much in common, but
yeah,
we got so much in common. Ain't that something? And we both turned artists.
I left my job and I was like, this ain't for me. It's just really
right.
You
just know when something not for you.
Yeah, and like you had said, I don't know, in this video or on one of the other videos, but one of the things that you had said was that you believe in letting your body wake up when it want to wake up. I am the exact same. I ain't trying to.
Yes.
Let me get up when I'm supposed to get up. So
that's right.
Yeah. So, what is one of your most memorable moments? Because, like, you played, man, your lineup is crazy. From Bruno Mars. Man,
I remember. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I got about 3 or 4 memorable. I mean, all of them are so memorable. Okay, my first one I kind of mentioned already. Barry White. When I was young and I got called, and I am at the Fox, sitting on the stage in the orchestra with smoke coming up on each side of me, lights off. All I can see is the man that was in this, and I can hear my auntie way in the balcony, Butterball, Butter. So just I'm like, oh my God. So that was a memorable moment. Memorable.
Now, how old was Barry?
I was probably in my 20s.
Okay.
In my 20s. Yeah. And then so many. Of course, let's go knock this one out. Michelle Obama. I played for her.
When you told me that, I was like, oh my God.
Man, just to have her attention looking at you and only you, and smiling with big eyes, and then hugging you afterwards. Come on! That in itself. So, okay, that was one memorable moment. She's so cool, too. So cool. What else? Oh, my gosh. um, what, oh my gosh, I'm trying to,
I know you.
but I didn't, the Olympic, huh? Not the Olympic, the Super Bowl. I did the VIP party where all the players and their families be, just to see all them and meet all of them, and just to shake their hand and compliment you, just all of that. Meeting Stevie Wonder, opening up for the slew of artists, not just open, work with. Like Norman Brown calls me on the phone,
right,
and stuff. I've sat with Marcus Miller. I've played with Marcus Miller. Bob James, David Sanborn, just give me advice. Just to be in the same energy in a room with these cats, and giving me advice. Cruises I've done where I'm looking at, I've gotten paid 5 figures, and I'm sitting looking at the balcony at the ocean, like, how did this happen from this little violin? So stuff like that motivates me. It tells me anybody can do what you want to do. And that's my story I'm sticking to. I get excited, but I'm sorry. Maybe it's this. I almost said, no, maybe it's the hookah. I don't know. But whatever works.
Right, whatever works.
You have to keep your frequency high. I stay high, and I don't mean that literally high. You got to stay high. Keep your spirits high. Keep your frequency high. Don't let me get started. Woo. What's up? Next question.
I feel it. All right. So, what advice would you give to an up-and-coming musician that's playing the violin, or any musician that's trying to get out there? Because times have changed from back in the day. Especially, it's more digital now. It's a lot of things that's changed. So, what advice do you give somebody to get out?
Number one, do what you feel like doing. Do it because you love it. Do whatever it is, because you like doing it. Let's start there. Start there. You gotta start there, not for no reasons, not for no outside reason, not because your mom and daddy told you, not because your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend told you, not because your best friend told you, not because somebody said, dang, girl, you sound good, you should blah, blah, blah. Nope. You got to do it for yourself when you're ready, with no pressure from anybody.
Right.
You got to do it when you feel good about it, when you want to do it on your own, whatever it is. I'm saying, do it because you love it. I played the violin by myself in the basement because I love it. I'm not looking for an audience. I'm doing it because I love how it sounds. I love what I can do with it. You learn, and that gets exciting. That if your art is not making you it, I've been playing the violin for 40-something years. I'm still excited about learning new stuff on it. Yeah. I'm not bored with it. And if you find something that's not making you bored, that you love, play with it and keep going. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, that's some great advice. Definitely some great advice. So how has the coronavirus affected your business?
That must be a Joe question. How has it affected what business? Right. Business is gone. No. Well, you know what? Just to stay on the positive side, actually, it has made me be more about my business. Mm-hmm. It makes you put things in perspective. Like, if all these shows are gone, what you gonna do, Shaw? You know what I'm saying? That's an ATL coming out. I'm sorry. What you gonna do? But anyway, so it allowed me to get my online junk together. Mm-hmm. Number one, to get my just everything, to just get my mind right.
Right.
And it also gives you confirmation that everything is okay. Everything is all right. You're still taken care of. It's a great test for a lot of people. It's a great test for me. It's a great test to just to show you that, okay, what you gonna do? Learn how to just be. It's a good chance and opportunity to just be and watch what happens.
I mean, so, you definitely preaching over there.
I know. You know, I start preaching in a minute.
But you said some real stuff. I injured my knee a little over a year ago.
Yes.
And when you're hit with the, oh Lord, what am I gonna do? Because all I've been doing since 2007 is touring.
Right.
And when
You make it happen.
yeah, when your source completely just stops immediately out of the blue, you do have to figure out what your other strengths are, what your other hustles are, and from that it birthed so many other things, because I really dived into who I was and what else I can do outside of just singing on stage.
And you get to learn yourself. And all these opportunities, they come at you, but the thing is, you don't want to force them either.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do stuff just because you think you have to.
Right.
See, because I ain't gonna lie, I died as soon as all this stuff happened. The first thing I was doing, I was diving, oh, I got to get my online show. Oh, I got to get it together. Let me get my equipment. I did all that. And then the first show is buffering like crazy. It's doing this. It's doing that. The second time, I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I'm doing this because I feel obligated. I feel like I'm losing something. Hell, there's only a few days into this thing. And I'm like, so what you have to do is stop, breathe.
Yeah.
You got to stop and breathe.
Yeah.
And never do anything out of obligation or because you have to. Do it because you inspired.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do something online, it's because I'm inspired to do it. If you want to donate, that's great. But at the end of the day, I'm inspired to do this for you more so. Mm-hmm. It's not even about money. You got to get there.
Yeah.
Yes, it may bring you a few dollars, but it ain't gonna save you.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna pay the rent. Unless you Erykah Badu and you got 4 million followers.
Right.
And you can charge $2 or $1. Make a million and still play your record label. But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I'm not that, I don't feel like, oh my God, I gotta do something. You can't get there. Don't get there. Hell, the world stopped for you.
Yeah.
So take advantage. Hell, mortgages are not called. The world stopped for you. Take advantage of it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. I see this, everybody is panicking and everything, but I actually see this as a time to grow and to figure out some other stuff, figure out who you are and everything. But like I said, I probably, had I not injured myself prior to, I probably would have been freaking out a little bit, but this was a good opportunity for me. So I'm okay because I'm prepared, And it sounds like we are stopped again. That's it. So Ken, you have definitely shared a lot of valuable information and some really good insights. Is there anything that you would say to your younger self about something that you should do or not do?
Ooh, I would probably tell my younger self to chill. Like, first of all, that ain't going nowhere, and so is that not going nowhere. But anyway, but you just got to read between the lines on that. But I would have told myself, like, boy, don't do that. And yeah, do that, though. That was good. I know you want to know those do's and that. But I will say this, I don't regret anything. This is the cool thing. On your journey, it is for you. I don't regret anything in my journey. Everything happened the way it was supposed to do. Yes, I can look back and say I would have did these things better or that thing or saved this much. I probably would have not bought so much stuff, wasted so much money, if anything. I'd be like, look, if anything, I would tell my younger self, I need you to take that $100 right there you about to spend on the movies and this little girl right here, put that into this thing called Yahoo. I guarantee you.
Right.
That's what I would have told my younger self.
Yeah.
I need you to take that $50. Just put in this thing called Amazon. It ain't nothing. And I guarantee by the time now, I'll be a gazillionaire. You see what I'm saying? That's what I would tell my younger self. Be smarter.
Yeah.
That's all.
It has been a true pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for being on, and we're gonna.
You're welcome, Butter.
Thank you. So, all right, guys, we're out of here. Talk to you guys later. Thank you.
Bye. See you next time.